Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Tara Barnes-Darby, and I work in INMAC's Conferences Department. And the purpose of today's webinar is to go over some basic logistical information for those of you who are going to be joining us this year as an exhibitor. So let's get started. Chip, can you see my screen?
Perfect.
Perfect?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so by now, most of you know that the 2020 USCHA is going virtual, like so many other conferences due to COVID-19. And like most other organizations, the pivot from an in-person conference to a virtual one is new for us. It's new for a lot of people. So we had a lot to learn in a short period of time, but it's been fun and we've enjoyed kind of embarking on this new adventure. And we have faith that, virtual conference will be engaging and it's going to equip us with a more effective way of convening. And to be honest, with the way things are going right now, we're definitely going to get back to in-person conferences, but there's probably going to be in the future a way of incorporating sort of like a hybrid event, making conferences a hybrid event. So having some type of in-person experience combined with the virtual experience. So we're excited. So let's start with me giving you an overview of the sample environment. So just keep in mind that this is just a mock-up. The lobby and the backgrounds are being built, so it won't look totally like this, but it'll have some of the same elements. So when people log into the platform, so they've registered for the conference, we've downloaded all of their information to the platform, we've sent out the email with all of their login details, they'll log in, and they'll be brought into this virtual lobby. And in the lobby, there'll be labels for different sections of the conference, such as plenary sessions or workshops in the exhibit hall. So for the purposes of this webinar, we're just going to go into the exhibit hall. So let's say we're going to click here. And then you'll be brought into the exhibit hall. Exhibits will be accessed by scrolling to the left or the right, or by entering the organization name in the search box. Sponsor booths are going to appear first in order of sponsorship level. And then they'll appear alphabetically after the sponsor booths. And we know that there are many elements of the conference that we're going to miss, and it's going to, differ from having that in-person experience. But a lot of what actually happens at the booth can happen virtually. You can still distribute your collateral in terms of fact sheets or brochures and other publications. There's going to be the ability to show videos. You can engage directly with registrants in real time via chats and social media. And a great plus to having a virtual booth is that this year we'll be able to offer metrics. You'll have access to metrics via your booth dashboard. And you can get reports on who stopped by your booth, how long did they stay, which assets were downloaded, and how many visitors actually stopped by your booth when compared to the total number of registrants for the conference. So that's definitely a plus. So here's just a simulation of what happens in a booth. Someone is clicking on your booth. They're kind of moseying around to see what you have, what you've uploaded. Right now, they're interested in your company. So they'll bring up the company description that you've provided. They see that you've added a video. So they're able to view that video. They also see that you uploaded a document. They can read that here. And if they like it, they want to take it, they are going to add it to their swag bag. And just so you know, the swag bag is basically a virtual conference bag. And it's a way of gathering resources, not just from exhibitors in the exhibit hall, but resources throughout the platform. So that includes things such as handouts from workshops that they've attended. So basically, every registrant will have access to a virtual conference bag, and they'll be able to download those assets directly. And this is just a simulation of being able to chat directly with people who've stopped by your booth. Okay, so that'll give you just an idea of what can happen. So this is the regular booth template. And by regular booths, I mean all those booths that haven't been purchased by premier and presenting sponsors. You'll see that there is a header for your logo and 3 separate windows that would house your content. And next is the template for premier sponsors. You'll see their template is different, obviously because they're a sponsor, but basically you'll see that it's different and they have a little more space to add assets, but it can also be streamlined. So for right now, the basic the basic assets in the booth are focused on these 4 windows, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the logo. But they had the opportunity to add some additional signage as well. So, building your booth. So next week, we're going to be sending out information on how to build your booth. And that's basically during the week of August 10th, but no later than August 14th, which is that Friday. It'll be an information packet on everything that's needed. That'll include specs for your documents, your video formats, sizes of the windows, etc. And this is an example of the booth content form that we're going to be sending to you, that we're going to ask you to fill out. One page is dedicated to getting some basic booth information about your organization and your booth, your organizational description, who's going to be staffing the booth, and some other details. And you'll see that we kind of use MMAC as an example. Another sheet is going to actually be used to actually build out your booth space. So you'll see, if you remember from the regular booth, it's based on 3 separate windows. We decided to name our first window MMAC Resources. And when people come to that window, we want people to have links to our conference sites. Okay. For the second window, that's the one in the middle. We didn't want to have a label, but we wanted to show a welcome video. And for the last window, that's window 3, we wanted to name that programs, and we wanted that information to link to our Building Leaders of Color block program, as well as our Youth HIV navigation program. Now you can see for the most part, we decided that we were just going to provide links, but as I mentioned before, it can contain other collateral. You can be showing a video that's not linked directly out. We'll give information on how to embed videos. We could have provided documents that would have been in a PDF format, as well as some other information. And just so you know, you can upload, it's pretty much an unlimited amount of information that you can upload into your booth. Okay. So also included are the specs for all the collateral that can be included. It gives the specs for any videos that you'd like to upload, the logo, as well as a format for any documents. We're also going to give you a location to be able to upload this information. And since it's the first time that we're using the platform, we know that you're using the platform, MMAC is going to be collecting this information so that we can build it out for you with our developer, with our platform developer. So after the entire virtual environment is built, we'll send you the details for you to log in as a booth administrator to make any changes, to update booth staff. You'll be able to add pictures to profiles, and that'll all be coming soon. So again, just to give you a reminder, this is how the booths will appear. Again, this is the regular booth format, and this is the format for Premier sponsors. Again, all these specs are going to be included in the package that we'll send next week, so don't worry about taking any notes. So here's the timeline for the next 2 months, and a lot is going to be happening. And the companies that host these virtual platforms, conference platforms, they work in a tight window of 6 to 8 weeks. In fact, you know, they actually tried to limit us to, I believe, a 4 to 6 week window. We had to beg for an additional 2 weeks. So they need that to actually build out the entire conference platform. So this is why we weren't able to share this information sooner. And so as we talked about, you'll be sending that and you'll be gathering all that information that's in that booth content form that we're going to be sending to you. That information is going to be due to NMAC by August 24th. And from, you know, starting as soon as we receive it through the month of September, that's when the platform is going to be built out. And by October 2nd, and hopefully sooner, you know, any of these dates can be done and accomplished, these milestones can be accomplished sooner. We'll definitely send things to you sooner. But no later than October 2nd, we hope to send you the administrative details so that you can log into the platform as a booth administrator and make any updates to your individual booths. And of course, October 19th through the 21st are the conference dates. So the conference starts on October 19th at 12, and all the times listed throughout our agenda or anywhere on our conference site, they're all in Eastern Standard Time. So the first day, the hall will be open from 1 to 5. And it'll also be open from 1 to 5 on October 20th. And where you see that we have booth representative available, those are what we hope to be our live hours. So we want to make sure that hopefully on the first day on October 19th from 1 to 2, and the second day from 2 to 3, you actually have someone, representatives available in the booth so that you be able to chat real time and engage with constituents. Okay? Otherwise, it'd be great if you can be there the entire time, but you don't have to. The last day of the conference is October 21st, and the exhibit hall will be open from 1 to 2. So that was a very quick overview. I know that there's a lot of information that we covered, but keep in mind that we understand that, and we're here for questions. And we're here for questions, of course, leading up to the conference. So we're always here for a resource. But we're going to start with any that we've received so far. Chip?
Yes, Tara. So can you hear me okay?
I can hear. Can you see me?
So the first question I have is, yes, I can see you.
Mm-hmm.
So first question we have is, can chat function be disabled if we're not allowed to use it?
Yes, they can. If you don't want to have them, then they don't have to be enacted on your screen. I mean, on your profile. So basically, you're talking.
Next question, is there a limit on the number of assets?
Sure, hold on 1 second, Chip. I wanted to add to that. So it'd be interesting to see for that person whether or not they plan to have any live presence or if they're just not able to chat. So if the person that asked that question, if you can just follow that up in the question box. I like to do a follow-up. Go ahead, Chip, next question.
Is there a limit on the number of assets you can add to the booth for a regular exhibitor, e.g. number of videos, number of flyers, etc.?
No. I mean, yeah, I mean, we've seen up to, 10 to 15, 20. Yeah, there's no limit really.
Okay, next one's a comment. This is a lot of information to comprehend. I hope this is just a high-level presentation.
Yeah.
So I think there may be some concern out there. It's a lot of information to process.
Yes, and definitely. So this will be available on our website to review. But as I mentioned, a lot of the information that I covered is going to be included in the packet that we send to all exhibitors next week. So it'll
Okay.
include all
The next question is from Kelly Reinhardt with CB.
Hi, Kelly.
Okay. CBA Provider Network. Do you think NMAC will be hosting exhibit hall bingo or some other activity that drives attendees to the exhibit hall?
Yes, we will share that as soon as we finalize all that. But yes, we do have definite plans to for gamification or to hold raffles and things like that. So as soon as we finalize that, we'll be letting you know. But we do have some things planned.
Okay. Next question. Are booths sold out yet?
No, they are not sold out. And they're very affordable.
Next question.
I have to add that.
Next question. Do you have any suggestions for activities to engage visitors in exhibit hall? Any limitations? Anything else we should know?
No, I mean, we actually have a packet from the platform developer has provided on ways to engage people and to drive traffic to your booth. And we can definitely include that in the informational packet that we'd send to you next week if you're signed up. But, I think I mentioned that, there's definitely ways to engage, if you have social media channels, still, as if we were meeting in person, you could still encourage people to stop by your booth.
Okay, next question. Will the hall be bilingual?
The hall will not be bilingual, but there is a function where you can translate. So there's in the platform, there is a tool for translation.
Is there a limit on how many staff members can be on or have access to their booth?
No, you can have, I would say up to 10 people right now. And you can change them day to day.
Will there be an opportunity to make appointments? Will there be an opportunity to make appointments for one-on-one time with a visitor?
Yes. We do have that capability. Any more questions?
Oh, sorry, Tara. Yeah, we do. Can the documents within the booth be dynamic, meaning that we can include buttons or hyperlinks in the PDF of the document that will allow participants to click on it and drive them outside of the platform?
No, the PDF documents cannot be dynamic. They aren't dynamic. However, any links that you provide can go directly, they can go outside, of the platform to go to your website. They just can't be dynamic in the actual PDFs.
Okay, and follow up on the chat question. This person would not have live chat allowed because of regulatory requirements.
Okay, I understand. And also, there are some companies I know that aren't able to have a presence directly on the websites, the platform. So there is a way, if you're going to build a microsite, we can actually link out to your microsite as well, if you're not able to engage directly with people directly on the platform.
Okay. Can more than one person chat at a time?
Yes, there is a group chat function.
Is there an opportunity to send materials or educational resources to NMAC to add to attendee swag bags?
The only sponsors can do that. So sponsors are based on their sponsorship category. They basically have bag inserts, and those will be preloaded into the conference bag.
If we are not able to provide links by the August 24th deadline, will we have the opportunity to add later?
Yes, you'd be able to add it later when you receive the information for the booth administrator side that we're going to send you by October 2nd. Then you'll be able to kind of go in and have a little more control over the assets at your booth.
Can we take any Spanish presentation on USCHA?
Can you repeat that? Can you take?
Yeah, the question is, can we take any Spanish presentation on USCHA? We may need a little follow-up on that question.
Yeah, I just need a little clarification.
Mm-hmm.
If the question is whether
will all resources
will all resources be in Spanish?
Go ahead, Tara. I'm sorry.
So I was about to say, if the question was whether or not there are going to be some Spanish presentations at USCA, definitely we have a Spanish language track.
Okay. Next question: will all resources be downloadable?
Yes. And downloadable meaning that they'll be, a registrant will download your booth materials into their swag bag, and then they can download them themselves as a registrant.
Okay. What is the deadline to register for a booth?
The deadline to register, I have to get back to you on that because I know that right now on the website we didn't include it, but I believe that we're going to be cutting it off at the end of September. So I will, if the person who asked that can give us their email address, we will respond to that.
Tara, did you hear that one?
Nope, not at all. Uh-oh, you're breaking up. Can you try it one more time?
Nope, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Sure. Will NMAC, okay, will NMAC do?
Nope, there it went again. Can you type it in the chat box?
No, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Look, we've all been dealing with low bandwidth. It's everyone's teleworking. Thanks for your patience. Chip is messaging us. Will NMAC do push notices for booth hours? Yes, we will. And you'll notice that in the agenda when you go to our website, we actually have time blocked off for just the exhibit hall, nothing else going on.
All right.
Yeah, you're breaking up again.
Yeah. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Can we make changes to our booth after the August 14th deadline, add videos, etc.?
Sure, after the August 24th deadline, definitely. And that's when you'll receive, and you can do that when you receive the login information so that you can log into your profile. And that's the information that's going to be sent by October 2nd. You want to just be able to get that basic information in by August 24th, to include as much information as you have, and then you'll be able to go in separately to not have to build it out totally, but you can add things and update things at that time.
Okay. Next question, do booth staffers have to be registered for the conference?
Yes.
Next question,
So,
can you review how chat works?
One registration per booth. I'm sorry, Chip, can you repeat that?
Sure, no problem, sorry. Can you review how chat works?
Sure. So there'll be, once you go into someone clicks it within a booth, there'll be a menu to be able, there'll be a chat menu. You click on the button and it'll just be a regular chat session. And just to let you know, once someone, if you're there present in your booth during the live hours, would anyone stops by, you'll be sent a message. So you'll know whenever someone new comes into your booth. So you can also prompt them to have the chat. So a chat function is built into the platform. You don't have to go outside of the platform to have that. And once,
Okay.
it's a booth representative information and will be there, then they'll be able to go in and select who they want to speak to.
Okay. Where will the digital program live within the conference platform? Will it be in participant swag bags?
It will live on the conference, it'll be on the conference website as well as the conference platform. So it'll be accessible through the conference lobby. And if it's not too large, yeah, we can definitely have it in the conference bag. We hadn't planned on having it. We were basically going to be able to have it access through the lobby, but I think that we can have it in the swag bag.
Next question, can you send all due dates for materials and review the deadlines?
Yes, that'll be in the informational packet that we send next week.
Where on the platform will the program ads live?
The program ads will be in the actual digital program book. So like we've had, even before this year in a virtual space, we've had a digital program book for the past few years. So it'll be a PDF document. So the program ads are actually in that PDF flipbook document.
Are there various options for booth layout?
No. Just the one that I showed with the 3 screens.
For sponsors, how are the bag inserts different from the booth documents?
Well, the bag inserts are going to be pre-loaded. So the information is typically different. The bag, and it depends on what they want to have as a bag insert. For example, they could, and have a invite to a workshop that they're doing. But that's not necessarily specific to their booth. So I would say the booth assets are not pre-loaded into the conference bag. Bag inserts are. And if you're a sponsor and part of your benefit is to receive a bag insert, please definitely contact me or give me your information. I can contact you on the format for your bag insert. And my email address is tbarnes@nmac.org. You can provide it in the notes.
What are the video parameters again?
Can you repeat that, Chip?
It's asking for the video parameters again.
The video parameters will be sent in the document that we sent. It's a long list of content and audio. And size information.
And someone clarifying the deadline?
To the deadline.
Clarifying the deadline is August 24th?
Yes, August 24th.
Okay. Can attendees visit the exhibit booth during off hours? They'll be able to ask questions and send messages during off hours that we can respond to at any time.
Yes, they can. And we're planning to, in addition to the conference dates, we're planning to leave the exhibit hall open for another week. So while you don't have to staff it the following week, people will still be able to send requests for information and to also just see what assets you've included in your booth.
Okay. Please repeat the answer to why their booth staffers have to be registered.
Why they have to be registered? So there's one registration that comes with
or do they have to be?
Yes, they do have to be registered.
Okay. When will we receive the email registration list? Are there specs for emails if we choose to send out to registrants, and is there a deadline?
Is someone asking for the email registration list? Is that what that was, Chip?
Yes, and specs for emails if they want to send out. Yeah. So when will we receive the email registration list, and are there specs for emails if we choose to send out to registrants, and is there a deadline?
Okay, so only certain sponsors are able to have access to our email list, and you can contact me directly to get that information. And for sponsors,
if I have 3 booth reps, if I have 3 booth reps and they chat individually with different visitors.
Yes, they can. If they're all registered and they all have their profile in the booth.
Okay. Just to clarify, will the chat be a text exchange or voice to voice?
Text exchange.
On the chat, so reps can choose who they want to chat with and also have the ability to chat with more than one person at a time?
Sure. Actually, Allison, my team member, is actually on here as well, and she clarified that you can also do video chat as well. Thanks, Allison. Chip, can you repeat that?
Sure. Can we get the info packet before making a decision about having a booth?
Sure. You can send an email to tbarnes@nmac.org. We can send that to you, and it'll be next week.
I think this is a similar question. Do you have to be registered for the booth to receive that information pack with deadlines in today's presentation?
Yes. But keep in mind, this presentation is also recorded and it will be available on our website. And just like the previous question, you can contact me directly for the packet with all of the deadlines.
Will ads link to booths and vice versa?
Will ads link to booths? No. Keep in mind that ads are in the program book, so they won't be dynamic and link out to booths.
We have a request here to see the booth layout again.
Booth layout again. Okay, hold on one. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
So the top booth is the regular booth, and the bottom booth is the Premier booth.
Okay. Next question we have is, will NMAC have push notifications available for sponsors? Are there specs to follow and deadlines for that?
Yes, we normally do send out requests for push notifications. I would say within 2 to 3 weeks of the meeting. We normally don't request them this far out, but yes, sponsors do have that benefit.
How many free registrations are included with the ordinary booth, a non-sponsor booth?
One registration.
Okay. What happens to the content after the meeting? Is it still available on a platform somewhere?
So for the content for the exhibit hall will be available for 1 week only. But the rest of the content, such as the workshops, plenary sessions, information like that, we hope to house that for a year.
Can sponsors customize the booth layout beyond the color selection?
You can use the existing 4 screens that are there, and this is for the premier sponsors, as well as have additional signage.
Will site metrics be available for exhibitors to pull at any time, or will the intro be forwarded at close of show?
There's real-time in the booth dashboard. You'll be able to do real-time download of metrics.
Is there anything that you've seen in your research on other virtual conferences you think would be valuable for first-time virtual exhibitors to know heading into USCHA?
I would say, as much as possible, I think that even throughout the platform, it'd be great to kind of provide pictures as much as possible and videos, things that are beyond text. I think that people are still looking for, we're all going to miss that in-person engagement. So I think to the degree that you can provide photos and videos that actually show pictures of people or videos, that'll be eye-catching to people, to those that are visiting your booth. But again, what we can also do, that'll be one of the resources that we'll send out next week, tips on how to exhibit virtually. and how best to engage with the audience. And now
we don't have any additional questions right now.
Social media. Sorry, Chip. This is like we're always talking at the same time. But I just wanted to add to
Sorry.
a definite plus is to engage your own social media channels to kind of encourage people to stop by your booth, to let them know what you have planned. Sorry, Chip.
That's okay. Can we include a link to a Zoom-based event in the place of a video?
Yeah. Okay.
And at the moment, we don't have any additional questions.
Okay. Are we sure?
Yes. If we have any questions after this call, what is the best way to handle them?
The best way to handle them is to send an email to tbarnes@nmac.org, or you can send it to conferences@nmac.org. That comes to all conference staff. We're so huge. We have 3 people in our division, so someone will respond to it.
Shut up.
Are you cutting off?
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Will there be an invitation sent for the meeting on workshops?
The meeting on workshops. Is this the meeting on how to conduct a workshop? The person is asking.
That's what I'm assuming, but there's yes, that's what they're asking.
Yes, we'll be sending that out. And Allison McKeith and our staff will be leading that webinar.
No more questions at the moment. If anybody has any more, please ask them now.
Okay, Allison wanted to add to that last question that she's going to be sending information on the webinar that's going to happen for workshop presenters. That'll be included in the information that people will receive. They've submitted abstracts, but we'll also send that to our sponsors as well. And it'll include best practices for presenters that are presenting online. So Chip, did any other questions come in?
Nope, no more.
Okay. Thanks so much for joining us. I hope that this was helpful. I know it was a lot of information, but again, we're here to answer any additional information that you have, especially after you receive that informational packet. And as I mentioned, even if you haven't signed up yet for an exhibit booth, you can email me directly and we can include you in that list of people that get the actual specs for booth assets and for the upload. So thanks for joining us and have a great day.